California Spring Trials is Fashion Week for our industry, or maybe you can think of it like the auto show, a chance to see many of the coolest new products available for upcoming seasons. Dozens of global breeding companies and innovative plant introduction companies set up along the California coast in early spring to showcase new crops that have been in development for years, even decades. New series, additions, upgrades, and sometimes brand new plants are grown out and discussed in detail for the better part of a week to drive interest from visiting growers, retailers, and distribution companies. It's also a time to catch up with old friends, solidify strategic partnerships, and revel in the beauty created by our industry. We've done this for decades and we'll do it again in 2026 from March 24th to 27th. Registration is managed by the National Garden Bureau, and you can sign up to secure your spot at caspringtrials.us. In fact, registration is essential. A quick reminder before we get started. New for this year, if you're visiting a location with more than one exhibiting company, like most of them, registration by location means you register for all companies when you schedule your appointment at caspringtrials.us. But be sure to allocate plenty of time for stops with multiple companies. One click doesn't mean one quick visit. Take, for example, the Head Start Nursery Stop or the Santa Barbara Polo Club. You can register for the location, but you'll need to allocate time for all of the exhibiting companies, and that can mean as many as 100 new varieties. Last but not least, check out the suggested itineraries at caspringtrials.us. If 2026 will be your first time visiting the trials, or you haven't been in a few years, they will be very helpful. Let's hear about some of the things you'll see and experience at Spring Trials this year. I'm your host, Bill Calkins, and today, as part of our Spring Trials preview mini-series, I'm here with Sarah Makiejus from PanAmerican Seed to hear what the company has in store for us this March. It'll be a quick conversation, but hopefully it inspires you to register and start thinking ahead as you plan your crop mix for the future. Sarah, welcome to the podcast.
Thanks so much, Bill.
Every trial location is different, and I know where PanAmerican Seed displays. I know the site very well, but every year you guys bring exciting new varieties to the table and awesome new displays. So can you tell the listeners a little bit about where the company is located and how you describe the general vibe of the stop?
Absolutely. So we are located in Santa Paula, California, which has been our stop for quite many years now. So, and this year we do have a really fun theme. I'm not going to give it away completely.
Fair enough.
But we are very, very bright this year. Very sunny.
Okay. And then when you think about spring trials and maybe thinking back to 2025, what was one big hit of the trials? And you can think about that from sales dollars to what was your favorite? What did the visitors get most excited about? However you want to approach it, give me one big hit from 2025.
Well, Bill, I mean, it's no big secret. You guys hear me talk about this quite a bit, but last year was Wave's 30th anniversary. And we're not done yet. You know, we have a couple more weeks left of this year, but we celebrated pretty big last year. So that was a pretty big hit at Cast.
Yeah, absolutely. You had new varieties. You were showcasing all the different Wave family members. It's hard not to get excited about Wave, for sure. That's cool. Can you tell the listeners a little bit about what it takes to put on an event like this? I know that planning starts probably at Spring Trials last year and that there's a full marketing team that works on this, but how do you characterize the whole planning process for Spring Trials? And then probably equally as important, what should attendees expect to gain from visiting the site this year?
Well, that's a great question. And I would tell you, this is probably one of my most favorite things that I get to work on in this role. So Cast planning involves a big team. I work with an internal team, our internal agency at Hort, and the process starts, like you said, at the end of Cast. I mean, and we can never get ahead of it enough. So we've even been talking, and I keep joking and telling people that I would love to plan out the next 10 years. And if I could, I would. But again, it's just a really fun creative process where you start with the concept and then you work with the agency and and we go back and forth quite a bit to collaborate on the best display possible. So when folks come to CAST, they really should be looking forward to finding our latest and newest introductions and learning all about them with a memorable spin.
That's cool. And you guys always have technical people on site to help with, the actual production of the plants. And where are the plants for CAST grown for PanAmerican seed?
Currently, they're grown at Santa Paula.
So right there on site.
Yes.
Which makes it a little bit easier, I would imagine, but still there's so much involved in putting in the production and nailing them for those exact dates, I would imagine.
Absolutely. And I mean, I have to call out the team at Santa Paula at this point too. They're tremendous, and they've done such a fantastic job over the years. So again, very fortunate to be able to work with them on this production.
Cool. All right, Sarah, this is the question everybody tunes in for. And I know that, sometimes companies play it pretty close to the vest, but can you shout out a couple of the new varieties that the team is most excited to showcase at Spring Trials 2026? Maybe a little bit of sneak previews, however you want to approach that.
Of course. So we do have some really cool new introductions that I'm super excited about, and the team is super excited about as well. Couple call outs that I would share with you. We do have a fantastic sedum that is an award-winning sedum. So you'll see that right away. Sedum Spectacular when you come into our facility. And then indoors, of course, we will always be talking about our consumer brands. So there are some new introductions with Wave and Beacon. And then one of the other scene-stealing varieties that you will see this year lends itself towards that sunny mix, as I had told you from the beginning, but it is in lovely sunflowers. So that'll be something else that people can look forward to seeing when they come to our stop.
Awesome. That's cool. Are you guys going to have combos too? Because I know that last year we saw a lot of really beautiful combinations.
Well, that's a great question. And I would tell you, again, one of my philosophies is you don't just sell the belt. You sell the shirt and the pants and the shoes with the whole outfit. So we want to make sure we always have combos for everything. So you will definitely see some at PanAmerican Seed.
Excellent. I can't wait. I think that this all sounds fantastic. Obviously, I spent a lot of time at that site over the years, and I know how much work the entire team puts in. PanAmerican Seed always goes above and beyond, and you guys are kind of the host for the whole ball stop. So thank you for that. I'm really looking forward to visiting in March, and thank you so much for your time, Sarah.
Of course.
And now's the time, listeners, to head over to the National Garden Bureau registration site at caspringtrials.us. You will find a link in the show notes. Get registered, and as I continue to say, bring a whole bunch of people from your team, because you never know what someone's going to spot. You might miss it, but someone else might see the next big thing for 2026 and beyond. And don't forget to subscribe to the Tech on Demand podcast on your favorite app. That way you will never miss an episode.